Okay, so I'm not exactly sure where the trail started or how it started, because it looks like we got going somewhere in the middle or close to the beginning. I'm not sure. But I do like your decision-making processes here. You see that Shogun is not an odor and just hunting. And how do we know that? Well, you know, his head's going up, he's looking left and right, and yeah, of course he's moving forward. And as long as you keep pushing or moving up on the dog, he's going to keep moving forward. And honestly, this is one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make, is they think the dog is still working because the dog is just moving forward, when in all actuality the dog is just hunting. So you have to be able to make that decision on, is my dog hunting or is my dog working? And you know, sometimes there's really intense, serious differences between the two, and sometimes they're a little bit more subtle. And this is going to be an example coming up of subtle. When you cast Shogun out here, he picks up odor, but in some ways the behavior looks a little similar to what you had before. But what is the big difference? Let's see what happens. Okay, so one of the things that occurs as you're moving forward, and I wish you were looking at Shogun a little bit better because we may have seen it before now, but you can see him detecting something from a distance right there. He air scented something. Now, is that the track or is it an item? I actually think it's the track, but is he going to hit it directly? Now, you might be wondering why he's moving through here like this. You might have some tactile issues with the surface that he's on, some pricklies or stingy nettle or something, and you know, that's perfectly fine. What I like is that he's wading through it and working through it regardless. So where does he really pick up the odor? When does he actually get on? It was hard to say because he was kind of cherry picking his way through that material before, but right now I would say he's in odor, because all of a sudden that nose starts popping left and right, and he seems to be following a pretty decent track or trail. Now, what's the difference between here versus what he had before? Well, the big difference is that for the most part, his head is relatively low, and when he's head popping left and right, it seems like he's bracketing odor based on that behavior rather than just looking around. So before, when we were near the school, he was looking, physically looking for things and actively checking, you know, productive sources out. Whereas here, what he's doing is he's following his nose. Now, it's not a completely clean track. It's not super easy. You know, he's meticulously working it, but part of the issues that we may be having here is you have a little bit of, or not a little bit, but a hell of a lot of sunshine. UV has a nasty effect on scent, even on good productive source like grass. And especially when you get to lower grass like you're having here, it becomes a little bit more difficult. It's not so much that the scent has disappeared, it's just changed significantly. It's been reduced. So something happens right here. Something gets his attention. It could be a sound, I don't really know, but what I do like is he goes right back to work. Now, as we're coming along, he's going to start peeling off odor and moving off to the right a little bit. Now, this could be due to blown odor. It also could be just complete loss of track. But I honestly believe that it might have something to do with a proximity alert. I think you're starting to get bits and pieces of wind scent, just very little amount that's interfering with the track. Because one of the things that happens with dogs is that they have a tendency, when that air scent presents itself, to only want to follow air scent and not the track. And what air scent sometimes does is manifests itself on the ground. You know, you're going to get spots of odor. So what I call this behavior is following spot odor, where some of that fresh odor might be laying and picking it up. It's not along a track line, it just happens to be where the scent is being deposited. So I think what happened is you got an early proximity alert, and you've got a lot of odor, that's fresh odor, that's interfering actually with the track line. Now, what he does do is he makes his own decision and hits that track line again right here pretty nicely. He's doing a really good job. Now, as he goes along, you're going to see that air scent start picking up again. You just got a little Stevie Wonder, that head wave. You're getting another one right here. This is what we call a proximity alert, and in this case it's a near alert. So for sure, by watching this ladder action with this ladder alert, makes me believe that you had a proximity alert there in the beginning. So right now he's working nothing but air scent. But the problem with this air scent is there's not a scent cone. It's not coming directly to his nose. It's just pool odor, and you can see by his behavior that that's what it is, because if it was a direct scent cone, in other words, he's going right directly into the direction of the scent, then I think you'd see a lot more intensity going forward. Now, what makes me believe that even more is he sees this shape that's not moving. It's getting him a little bit disturbed. And if he had that direct wind scent, he'd be going right into it. Now, you do a really good job of motivating through it. This is exactly what you have to do with a dog that's getting a little bit nervous about something. And, you know, your calling is really great, and you've done that in the past. So really good track, great work. Love to see him doing what he's doing.